Good morning. Welcome. This is the second weekend of November of 2019. And I'm Jim Lenaway, and I'm standing here in front of the old First Baptist Church at Kane. And I'm inviting you in this little video to join me in a celebration of an anniversary. Well, it's not my wedding anniversary, no. This is an anniversary that's slightly different, of a special event that took place 38 years ago, and I'm celebrating it today. Can I tell you about it? Well, here's what happened. I want to take you back to November 8th, 1981. Well, that morning, it was a Sunday. It was a crisp, cool day, kind of like today. And I woke up about, you can go ahead. I woke up that morning and I was feeling bad. Well, to be honest with you, I had a horrible hangover. I was hurting. Whew, it was terrible. I'd been on about a 2-day drunk. So I crawled out of bed and I made my way over to the Hillcrest restaurant. And I remember walking over that day thinking, man, Jim, your life's a mess. What are you doing, dude? But I walked in the restaurant there and I sat down at the counter next to Jim Espin and Jack Frost, my buddies. We'd been out partying the last night and the night before. And I finished up my bacon and eggs and I walked out of the Hillcrest. And as I was pushing the door open, I could look from the Hillcrest restaurant, which is only about 2 blocks right over there, and I could see this church. When I saw it, I remembered that the day before, I'd bumped into this guy named John Shimko. He was the pastor here. We had a nice conversation, and at the end of the conversation, he said, hey, why don't you come over to church sometime? Well, I got to be honest with you. There was no way that I was going to church. I mean, I hated church. And you know what? Church hated me. Well, as I was standing there looking from the Hillcrest over here, somehow I got this kind of a desire to want to go over there, kind of drawn to it. So I started walking this way, and I was in a fog. Well, I walked down the street, and I went up those steps and through those doors. And then I met a guy named John Magnuson, and we shake hands, and the fog lifted. And I remembered, oh my goodness, I'm in church. My first thought was, I should have had one more cigarette before I came into church here. But they ushered me down to a pew, and I sat there, and I heard a message that morning of hope, of love, of forgiveness, of grace. It was amazing. Well, John opened up the Bible that morning and read some scriptures to us that told me that Jesus loves me. Well, when he said that, I thought, yeah, he might love all the rest of the people sitting in this church, but there's no way that Jesus loves me. I'd been breaking every commandment as fast as I could for as long as I could. Jesus can't love a guy like me. No way. I mean, here I am hungover or drunk. Well, he read some more scriptures, and this time he said, Jesus loves you no matter what. I went, wow. So I thought, well, that's kind of cool. What do I do with this? Well, he said, here's the response that Jesus wants. Simple. Love him back. And if we can decide to love Jesus, then he'll be our friend. And I thought, wow, I would love to have Jesus as my friend. So that morning on November 8th, 1981, right here in this building, a drunk like me made a decision to fall in love with Jesus. I got to tell you, best thing I ever did. It's been great for the last 38 years. Now, I want you to understand something. I am far from perfect. Yeah, my life changed drastically that day. There is no doubt about it. I became a new person. But here's what's going on now. God will help me take like 2 steps forward, and I'll take 1 back, and then he'll drag me forward again. And it's an ongoing process. He's working on me. But it's made a difference. Now, why am I telling you this? Real simple. As I'm doing my Bible study these last few months, I've been noticing that over and over and over in the scriptures, it tells us that we are supposed to tell our story. So I'm making this little video. That we're supposed to give a testimony, to testify to what God has done in our lives and how He's impacted our lives. Good morning. So, hi guys. Hi Pooch.
How you doing?
Good. So anyway, about how God has impacted our lives. So, here's what I did. Is I'm making this video. I put it on Facebook, YouTube, whatever. I mean, I don't know who's going to see it. I don't know. I just got to tell my story. It's not a great story. It's not the earth-shattering story at all. But God certainly changed my life. And then a couple of months ago, I decided to go ahead and type out my story. So I did, and I sent it down to my sister-in-law in Texas, who edited it, so it, get the punctuation and the grammar and the spelling correct. And then when that was finished, I sent it to a publisher, and I had several hundred copies printed. And I had them printed up. Here they are, right here. And so, what I want to do is invite you, number one, to join me in celebrating 38 years of this relationship with Jesus. And then secondly, the story I just told in the video, that's just a little tiny part of what God did for me. And if you would like to read the rest of the story, I've got this little pamphlet here. It's a few pages long, take a few minutes to read. And it's called, Because Jesus Loves You No Matter What. And it says, this is a true story. Not the best story, not the worst story, but it's my story. What I'd like to do is give one to you. It's real simple. If you see me, ask me for it. If you give me your name and address, I'll mail one to you. Maybe you could just, message me on Facebook, and I'd be glad to get one in your hands. And why am I doing that? Again, it's just, the Bible tells us we're supposed to tell our story. Now, while you're watching this, maybe you're thinking right now, that idea of Jesus being your best friend was kind of interesting. It's real simple. You need to do just like I did. Decide to fall in love with Jesus. I guarantee you'll be glad you did. All righty? Hey, thanks. God bless.